Hey, welcome to day 7. For those of you that have been tuning in, I have been sharing, really opening up even more about my full health story. I've been sharing some things on these lives over the last few days around my health story, things that I've never fully shared, but I just have had more of an inclination more and more even recently. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to be talking about this. I need to starting to have these conversations around these topics because I just know so many more people can relate to what I'm going through. And again, the power of stories, right? The power of, I think that's the biggest gift that we can share back is when we have gone through life and we experience things, especially when it comes to our health, to share those discoveries, to share what's been working. And that's exactly why I'm showing up and sharing, is because I've spent years and years and years, I've struggled and had the biggest challenges with my own health personally, especially in my 30s. And it lasted years and years and years. And I feel like I've gotten to a place now where I have felt the best in my body. And I've actually cut back. I'm huge into supplementation, still believe in it, yes. But it's just crazy to me how much I've cut back, and these subtle little shifts and change and research and discoveries that I've made and have implemented, and how much it has totally transformed my body from the inside out in how I feel. Like I said, I feel, and I know it sounds heavy, but I feel like I literally feel the best that I ever have in my body, which says a lot, right? And I really want to back this up. And that's why this wasn't one live that I was just going to get on and share with everybody. There was just so much that I have experienced and these huge ahas and breakthroughs that I've had for myself that there's just no way that I could cover that all in one live. So that is the reason for my 10 days of lives and really unpacking this, really so that way I could share more details within, what I've gone through, and to help everybody see the disconnects, right? And also the connections. And my purpose and intention is for you to be able to maybe see yourself in my story, or maybe you know somebody. And if so, absolutely, share this out, save this, come back to it, share it. Because I believe if this has helped me, maybe it can help somebody else too. But the topic today is really what I call this is the missing and overlooked layer that I believe really, I have just not come across anybody, maybe just 2 people that I can count on my hand. That's it. Two people. Less, I can't even hardly, not even much more than that are really talking about this, this overlooked layer. And I want to be careful in saying that because I wanted to call this, obviously it's the missing piece. And I wholeheartedly believe it because it was the missing piece for me. But I want to be careful in saying the missing piece because, as you know, with health, it's not just one thing, right? It's not like an end-all be-all thing when it comes to a magic pill or a magic supplement or anything like that. Like, for those of you that value health, for those of you that get health, it's way more encompassing than just one thing. So that's why I want to preface this. I want to make sure I'm not just saying it's the missing link, it's the missing piece, even though it honestly was the missing piece in my journey. But I don't want you to take it like black and white. It's not the end all be all. Health is very all encompassing, and there's a lot that goes into a healthy, not only body, physically, mind, body, right? There's so much. But I'm talking to the people that do really get health, that value health like I do. I'm talking to you, those people that understand that it's a mental thing, it's a spiritual thing. Yes, it's physical as well too, taking care of our body. I'm talking to those people that really get and are implementing and doing their personal best. We're all not perfect, right? We're human when it comes to healthier just lifestyle habits, making those healthier choices. I'm talking to you, that person that even understands more natural, holistic practices, that it takes courage, right? To go down that path, and not everybody understands it, right? You got to do what's best for you. But I'm talking to that person. Here's the person I'm talking to that gets all that. Right? Where you are investing the money, you are taking the supplements, you are investing, going to seek out people in your corner that get root cause healing and want to work with that whole body approach, naturopaths, holistic doctors, practitioners, you're doing the supplements, you're incorporating those lifestyle habits to the best of your ability. You also understand how stress plays such a role, and you're trying to reduce the stress and just emotionally, spiritually, all the things, right? That's who I'm talking to, because that was me, right? That person that believes they're doing all the things, but yet there's still something off. There's like that gut voice, intuition, whatever you want to call it. And that's what I'm going to talk about today, because I got to a point where here's the problem. I want to back up for a second. So the problem and the challenge that I see, especially when you switch from going down the traditional route and now you're more open-minded and you're going down this natural path, this natural route, and there comes a point, not everybody's like that out there, right? There's people that still get it, but there's a lot of people, and I share this because this is the truth when it comes to, especially for those in the healthcare world, if you're a naturopath, a holistic doctor, and all the things. You know, again, I'm speaking in terms of what I know when I know just business 101 in general, the person that understands their who they help and who they serve. And one of the biggest frustrations and complaints, even just talking to other moms, other people that are into health like me, you know, it's frustrating when you go sometimes and all you hear is, oh, it's gut health, gut health, gut health. And yes, there's truth to that, right? But here's what I see, and I talked about this a little yesterday. I'm not going to go too deep into this, where we're kind of like trading, instead of treating a symptom with medication, we're treating a symptom with supplements, but yet we're still targeting like one thing or this thing, like gut health and hormones and that kind of a thing. And it's still kind of surface area, and again, I'm all about supplements, you guys. I don't want you to take this the wrong way. I'm all about supplementation, but here's the thing that I think a lot of people miss. And I'm actually going to get not even to the live topic yet, but this is another piece of it that I really want to address. Because when we go to see these people and they're saying, oh, we got to work on this, maybe it's the nervous system, maybe it's gut health, they're still giving you supplements to work on this thing, and it's still, all supplements do, I mean, they're boosting and they're nourishing the body, right? But that's still kind of surfacey. It's even if you are out there, and I know, like stress and cortisol and like all these things, and there's adaptogens and nootropics and all of this. And, you know, we can take all those things and we can feel good, right? We can feel a difference because our bodies are so inflamed and stressed out. Like, obviously it's going to help our body. Obviously we're going to feel a difference. But what happens is we start to feel like it's working, and we're like, oh, okay, we found it. We found the solution, right? That helps with X, Y, Z because we're feeling better. But you have to ask yourself, is it really getting to the root? And how do you know, right? That's the bigger question. Because just from my discoveries and my research and my experience and kind of what I've kind of found is that it doesn't get all the way into the cells. And I'm going to go down there. I'm going to talk even tomorrow a little bit more as well too. But here's the thing. It's like you can be doing all these things, and it's like you're afraid to take the gas off, like with supplements, especially with gut health. It's like, okay, I'm taking all these things. I'm really, really, really consistent. But like, if you keep going back and it's like, you can't like take the gas off those supplements, it's like, you almost question yourself. It's like, is my gut health like that bad? Or it's like, oh, nope, it's still not there yet. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep, being consistent with all these things. And I had this aha moment. I want to switch gears for a second. So I talked a little bit about yesterday how I experienced this full circle moment in my health. And this was specifically with feelings of anxiety and panic attacks, and that full circle moment where my daughter was actually feeling a lot of that as well too. And there was a full circle moment where I talked about this yesterday in my live, how all the supplements that I was using, that company unexpectedly shut down. I actually, which caused me to use up what I had and put more emphasis on my daughter with other supplements and things like that. But I had this aha moment, right? I had this aha moment. And here's kind of how it played out. I remember when my daughter was going through all of that, again, she was under just really great care. A lot of people that really just understood, was willing to work with her, given a lot of great supplements. But I'll never forget, making me more emotional than I thought. But I'll never forget it. You know, I was in her room, and anybody that's ever gone through a health or challenge, you know how much of a toll it takes, not only on your body physically, but mentally, emotionally, when you are going through health challenges with a family member, not even within your family, but especially under your own roof, right? It's heavy. And it's like you just feel sometimes helpless in those moments, and you can just feel that pain and that frustration and the challenges that people are going through. Let me know if you can relate to that, right? It's a very, very real thing. And I remember when she was going through some of the hardest, most, challenging times in her life, we were really doing our best to nourish her body, right? To replenish, to nourish, to help, again, gut health, right? We're focusing on the gut health, we're doing all the things. And I'll never forget, and she was really on board. She was doing her best, she's taking her supplements, and she had a stack, you guys, like a lot. And a stack, and she's super, super consistent. She really changed a lot of her lifestyle habits. She was making sure that she was working out. We were really having conversations on just what she was putting into her body, food, nutrition, exercise, making sure the mind, like reducing the stressors, like all the things, right? All of these things that are still helpful, right? They work, they're still helpful. But I'll never forget this moment. This was a huge aha moment that caused me to continue to dig deeper. This was a huge aha moment that caused me to continue to get curious and continue to learn and research and figure this out for myself, because I didn't feel like anybody else that I was working with and talking to still really got it. Like I knew I was onto something, but I couldn't quite articulate it. I couldn't quite figure it out. And this aha moment that I had, I remember she was doing all the things. She's sitting on her bed. I walk in and just tears, like tears. And it's like, that's the last thing you want to see, is just feeling so helpless as a mom, as a parent. And I remember she's just like, oh, I'm just so tired. I'm just so tired. I don't feel like I can do this anymore. Right? Like imagine that, right? You're doing all the things. And sometimes I think we get to a point where we're willing to do anything, and we're willing to, follow the protocols and take all the things, and it can get really tiring. And of course, I don't blame somebody, and I don't judge anybody that goes down the traditional route. I don't judge anybody that's taking any kind of medications. There's a time and a place for sure. But she was really open and willing to go down this natural part. And I remember, like, she got to this point of like, I can't do this anymore. Like, she's just ready to throw her hands up in the air, and it's almost like, I just want the easy button. I just want that thing. I just want this feeling to go away. I don't even care what it is. I don't care if it's bad for me. Like, that was the mindset, you guys. That was the mindset. Oh, and it killed me as a parent, right? And I just remember this feeling of like, I know I'm onto something. There's something that, if we're doing all these things, yes, I know it takes time. Yes, I know it builds up in the body. I'm not new to this game, right? But I want to share with you what I found, what I truly believe. Again, this was my missing piece. This was our kind of missing piece. And again, I believe it's a missing layer because I don't hear a whole lot of people talking about it. And what I believe is missing is realizing that nobody is talking about the energy of the cell. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. Nobody is talking about the energy of the cell. And I am not talking about an energy supplement, you guys. I'm not talking about taking anything like an energy supplement to boost or to anything like that. This is different, okay? This is where I believe our health is going. And if you're not up on this, because I'll tell you what, there's been a lot of conversations that I've had with people that I'm close to and even doctors' offices, and they're not even totally in the know. Okay, that's where we're at here. That's where I believe we are going. And I'm sharing this because I believe the more that we are educated, I believe that is where we are going, because the more conversations that I have with these people, they get it now, especially these practitioners. They get it now. They understand this. They are doing the research. They are now telling their patients to do the research, you guys. This is not something that I'm just like making up. This is not just my own, oh, I think, right? Like, trust me on this, right? But this missing layer, again, nobody's really talking about the energy, like the cells in the mitochondria. Okay, again, supplements have their own category. They are there to boost and they are there to nourish, right? There's a whole other category out there, you guys, that a lot of people are not aware about, that really has the power, the capability and the power to reset, to support, to repair, to rebuild the cell at that layer, at that level, which is huge. And I want you to follow me for a second. I want you to think about this. I want you to think about, again, we all have this device, right? The cell phone. And you know how important it is in order for your cell phone to work? That battery pack on your cell phone is what allows you to use your cell phone. And when that battery pack is empty, we can't turn on our phone, right? We can't do anything on our phone. I want you to think about how this applies, like how this transfers to our body. So I want you to think about like the cell phone battery of your body, like the cells in the mitochondria are, like that's your cell phone battery to your body. So I want you to think about this. If you are like me and my daughter who are doing all the things, right? You're very aware and you're being very intentional with your health choices, your food, your supplements, what you're consuming, what you're taking in, right? Mentally, emotionally, like again, health, it's a lifestyle, right? So I want you to think about all those things, right? That you are trying to do your very best in. Now, over time, you know that, again, food, toxins, stress, over time, it knocks down our body, right? But it knocks it down to the layer, the level at that root, right? Where our cells, you think of our cells in mitochondria, like those messengers in the body. They communicate, they talk to each other, they signal, they tell your body what to do specifically. And over time, if we are exposed to all these things, especially, I think stress is a big one. Stress, overwhelm, our bodies can't handle a lot of these things, and especially if we're not really taking care of it as best as we can, it gets knocked down, and our body becomes so depleted, especially at that layer where our cells start to not respond to each other as much. They stop signaling. They stop communicating to each other. So all of a sudden, our cells, you guys, are feeling that they're feeling tired, exhausted. So when my daughter told me that day in her bedroom, where it's like, Mom, I'm so done. I feel so tired. I feel so exhausted. I just don't think I can do this anymore. What she was really doing, again, her body, words are power. Words are power. Paying attention to that. So if she's doing all these things, that absolutely makes sense. Her cells and her mitochondria were so out of whack, like so depleted, not firing, not signaling, kind of broken in the sense, where imagine that creates an environment that is very, very hard to heal. You guys follow? Let me know if this is making sense. I'm trying to dumb it down. I'm trying to make this as simple as possible. Let me know in the comments if this is making sense. Just put like making sense. Just let me know. If you're following me, if I'm breaking this down for all of you to really understand like how important and how powerful this is, especially if you've been dealing with something, if you know that other people have been dealing with something and you're like, man, like there's something, I just don't know what it is. I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. And you feel like there's a missing piece, right? And it does, it creates that environment that's very hard to heal, because when you have cells that are not communicating to each other anymore, and it's not telling the body, it's not targeted, and it's not telling the body what to do, think about it as this: your supplements are the raw materials. So you're doing your best, you're getting in the protein, the food, the supplements, all of these things. You're doing your best, flooding your body with that nourishment, with these raw materials. But if this part here, the cell, the mitochondria, the base, the foundation, is like your cell phone battery of your body, right? Like, I want you to imagine that. If this is off and broken, like quote unquote broken here, we can have all the raw materials, but this part is not telling them where to go. These are kind of being left to like, I don't know, do I go here? Do I go here? It's not targeted, right? So you're getting them in your body, yes, but that's the reason why you're feeling, it helps you to a point, but then you're kind of frustrated where you either go backwards or you feel like, just something, you're not really getting to the root. Trust it. So anyway, this started to really finally make sense to me. So that was my aha moment with my daughter. And here's what also caused me to know through my research that it wasn't just me. Again, I don't want to ever just take like, oh, this is just what I think, right? I mean, we got to do our research. I talk about this all the time. You got to be your own health advocate for yourself, your body, your family, everybody. Stand for yourself. But I started to hear, there was actually another person. So in this time, I'm sharing this story now. So in this time, I'm hearing her say this. And again, I'm talking with a lot of people that are very supportive. I have a good, I guess, I don't know, for lack of better words, tribe of people, right, that get health around me. But I still felt like it wasn't coming up in the conversation. And even if I mentioned it, it was just kind of dismissed. I'm like, okay, again, I respect doctors. I do, right? So it's just like, all right, I'm just going to trust. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. I'm still going to look into this. And it caused me to do some research. I actually saw somebody online that come through. They run a lot of clinics, just a deeper dive into, again, people that talk about how they see the full body, full picture. There's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of gurus, experts, people that I follow that are really great in what they do. And again, I respect that. And I remember this one person come across my feed, and he was talking about his specific protocol, and he was talking about, he broke his protocol down into different phases. And what caught my attention, what caught my eye, was that he was saying when he works with clients and clientele, that the very first phase that he supports anybody with their health is this phase, and he specifically said, energy, cells, mitochondria. And I was like, oh my gosh, right? Like, oh my gosh. I'm like, he gets it. Like, he's the first person that I've ever heard articulate that and say it in that way. And it caught my attention. So here's what I did next. I opted in. I paid the price to have this consult. But here's the problem with that, you guys. Like, you can opt in. You can pay for these consults. And again, I am a business coach. I know marketing very, very well. And I know what I'm being marketed to and sold to. And I just remember my daughter got on, I was on, we were in this like tele-Zoom kind of a thing. And I could just tell that this really young girl, I mean, I know she means best and she was on his team, but I just remember this girl just reading off of a script and just like, okay, do you really care about her health? Or are you just trying to make a sale and you're like reading off the script? Anyway, I was done at that point. I was done. But I knew that because he mentioned that, I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy. He gets it. I get it. It just so happens that, my last company shut down. A lot of these amazing products I was using before, it was actually a blessing in disguise, led me to where I'm now. I actually work with an amazing health and lifestyle brand. And I never would have knew this stuff, never would have had the inclination to learn more about going down this path of biohacking outside of supplementation and all these things that I'm still going to talk to in my live. So tune in because there's more to share that you're definitely going to want to know about. Trust me. But if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have even deep dived into this research and learning even more. Right? It's crazy where life leads you. And I'm just so thankful and so grateful for every single challenge in my life because it led me to where I am today. Business, life, health, thankful for everything. So here's the thing is, how and now here's probably the question that you're having right now. It's like, well, how do we, is there a way? Can we heal those messengers? Can we get them to communicate again? I always thought this belief of like when they're dead, they're dead. But it's like, well, what if you could support that area? What if you could get to the root at the cells and mitochondria layer, that level, and get your cells talking to each other again, how it's meant to naturally in the body. This is not tricking your body to do something. I want to be very, very clear, very safe, very, again, advanced when it comes to health and kind of where our health is going. But again, if you've ever felt like this might be, if anything that I've shared, this might be the missing piece, missing link, missing layer for you, I'm curious, like drop energy in the chat. And again, and if you're looking to, if you're like, okay, yes, this is making sense. I feel like I need this. Like yesterday, if you feel like you could use that in your body to help your body to function again and talk to each other, your systems again, and truly repair from the inside out at that layer, I mean, comment body below. I got some info I can send you. Again, it probably does a way better job of explaining it than I can. I'm more than happy to pass along that research and info and anything. Again, if I can help just one person and just to see if this could help you too, I don't know. But all I can say is I know just how much it has helped me. And again, I'm going to share more about my experience just a couple months, how I was able to cut back on so many supplements and just kind of keep my core. And actually, I haven't even gone into the supplement world yet because I'm focused on this of just the foundation right now. But just from my experience alone and seeing the changes in my body transform from the inside out, it's crazy. I'm going to share more about specifics in what I'm feeling specifically in the later days, in the coming weeks and things like that, and continuing to take you on the journey. So that's my live. That's what I wanted to share. That is my message today that I wanted to share with all of you. I hope it was helpful. I hope that, most importantly, I hope that you can see like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Like, I hope maybe it inspired you, gave you some inspiration to know I truly believe our body has the power and capability, the capacity to heal itself when given the right things, right? And again, I know like supplementation and all of that, like it can be costly, but it's like, and I'm okay with paying for that, but what if there's a way that can be more targeted, that could actually help this like kind of root cause healing? Again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not here to make any claims, but just from my experience, to be able to get our cells and again, focusing on the cells, the mitochondria, fueling that part. Because imagine that if we were able to really focus on the energy of the cell in the mitochondria and that deeper dive and that reset at that level. Again, this is beyond supplementation. I'm not talking supplements here, you guys. But in a way that our body naturally works, then definitely reach out. Definitely comment body below. And I can share with you more, again, what I'm exactly doing, what I started with, info, and can connect you with all of that, because it's so good. It's so good. And it can make a huge difference in your health and in your body and how you feel. So make sure to tune in tomorrow. I'm trying to think, what is my topic tomorrow? There's another piece too that, aside from this, it actually goes hand in hand, that I've really been focusing on. So I'll share a little bit more about that tomorrow too, and to what I'm doing to really help calm down and reduce like the fires like going on in your body again, that we need to pay attention to. So take care. Have a great rest of your day, your night, and I will talk to you again soon.